That kid's fucked up.
That sounds like a him problem. I don't know what you want me to tell you, Connie.
Zach, for real, if your mother was alive, she...
My mother's dead, Connie. And he helped kill her, so...
Yeah, you can't say that.
I know that. Hey, Connie, I'm celebrating my family right now, and Jeremiah is no longer a part of that.
Listen now, Connie is quickly becoming a fan favorite kid. Well, then again, she's been a fan favorite for a lot of people since season 3. I've been iffy on her as a character just because of potential ulterior motives. Because going back to last season, I've been wondering, yeah, I get it. Her and Zach have a history, and then, her vouching for Zach and Fatima to help him last season and whatnot. But then I've always been questioning, she knows she has cancer. So is she just trying to get on Fatima's good side to then potentially use this as a, leverage in terms of, hey, we close, girl. Can you watch my kids? What? But either way, I wanted to talk specifically about Connie in that while her journey is certainly something to watch this season, I'm also just thinking about how she's worried about the wrong thing. She's pushing for Zach to show concern and help Jeremiah when this man has done far and away more than what's been required. Well, what did Cain say? I'm not my brother's keeper. But he's tried to be there for Jeremiah so many times already. But Jeremiah has proven each and every time he is not worthy of Zach's help. And he's the walking definition of, you cannot help those who refuse to help themselves. Yet again, I got to bring up the fact that this man, when he was in the red due to Bryce, freaking up the Rise Venture money, which again made it so infuriating in this recent mid-season finale, when he talked about Zach dropping the ball, when it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of bad that Zach forgot to arrange the inspector meeting, but you're the one who put the company in red in the first place. But in any case, Connie talks about helping Jeremiah, but Zach, when he was in the negative, put up the $3 or $4 grand needed to get Jeremiah into rehab, only for Jeremiah to not even stay for an hour, and the money was non-refundable. Then he shows up to his mother's funeral high, then rushes into Zach and Fatima's home, bringing a gang behind him, leading to a big fight and a shooting that could have put somebody in the 6 feet under. Yet Connie just needs to realize, I don't know how you do things, but I've done more than enough. And I'm glad when Zach shut her down. She's like, come on, Zach, if your mother was alive, but she's not alive. And besides, Zach tried to help her too. And anytime he gave them money, what did they do? Run out and get high. It's ridiculous. It really is. So, because in season 1, Zach wrote a check and then that money was gone in no time. Then gave them money, had to pay them just to show up to the therapy session with Dr. Reed. And then the next thing you know, Mama OD'd and then she's dead. So Connie, instead of trying to coerce Zach into helping out Jeremiah, she needs to reach out to her own family, trying to get Zach to help out his family. You need to reach out to your family. Well, what did she tell the doctor about how, me and my family aren't really close? Well, you need to talk to somebody because you're dealing with a terminal disease and you need somebody to watch your kids. Yet here you are trying to, champion or persuade Zach to help out Jeremiah, and you need somebody to help you. So I really think her priorities are mixed up, because here you are in a situation where you fell asleep and I don't really know how the fire started. We know that whole story about cooking and then the grease popping and whatnot was a lie, but essentially you nearly killed your kids, and you need to focus on getting your own family straight instead of worried about somebody else. Because I don't know about you, but I still have not forgotten why I got mad with Connie in last season, because she was the one that said, basically she gave up the responsibility that Miss Gladys gave her to be the person who was what's the word? Crap. Because I know Hannah and the haves and the have-nots. Catherine made her the executor, right? The executor. Basically, she would be the person to kind of hold on to the insurance money until, you know, Zach and Jeremiah, she got them together, sat them down to figure things out. Okay, like, here's how much your mama left y'all for the insurance policy. And first, you know, things first, you need to figure out a way to pay for this funeral. And then what's left, you could divvy it up between the two of you. But what did she tell Fatima? She went directly to Fatima's office to pawn the responsibility off on her. And the reason being is because, yeah, I know as soon as Jeremiah finds out about that money, I know what Jeremiah is capable of. And I had to, you know, just pass off the responsibility to protect my kids. And she didn't mention any of that to Fatima until she had already found out that Jeremiah got the letter in the mail, found out about the money, and that he was already out there looking for her. Because I said, look, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You talk to Fatima and Zach about it. And essentially, yeah, people are like, no, Jeremy, Connie did what was right for her and her kids. But I'm like, and she didn't tell Jeremiah that Fatima had the money. She just said, go talk to them about the money. I'm like, that's some bull crap. That is some bull crap. And that's essentially a lie of omission. Where technically Connie wasn't lying that she had no knowledge of the whereabouts of the money. It's just that Jeremiah, if you want to figure out how the money, the insurance thing works, you go talk to Fatima and Zach about it. But I didn't know he was going to pop up on Fatima and attack. Like, you know what? No, like you told Fatima, you know what Jeremiah is capable of when he's high and looking for money and crap like that. And you literally sent him right over to Fatima. And I know it's like, well, she didn't tell Jeremiah exactly where she worked at. That's semantics. So I still haven't forgiven Connie for that because she's indirectly responsible for everything that went down in season 3. In my opinion. But yeah, it's just like now people weren't really quote unquote turning on Connie until she's like, you know what, Tony, maybe I can ask Zach and Fatima to watch my kids. Like, no, they got enough going on. Oh, now y'all want to turn on her. No. But Connie needs to worry about her situation instead of trying to, you know, get Jeremiah and whatnot situated, because Zach has done more than enough. And what he said, like, look, my mama's, you know, if your mama was still alive, well, she's not. And, you know, like I mentioned before about Miss Gladys giving Connie responsibility. But what did she do? As soon as Gladys died, she pawned that responsibility off on someone else just to protect herself and her kids. That is some bull crap. So you'll try to guilt trip Zach by using if your mama was still alive to do something, and he rightfully shut that crap down. Yet after Miss Gladys died and gave you one last thing to do, you refused to do it. Bump that, Connie. Bump that. Just worry about yourself, worry about them kids, and talk to your family instead of trying to pawn them off on your friends who are already dealing with too much on their plate. Like, can you imagine if your friend is having a child, their first child with their fiance, you know, they've been going through a lot and, you know, she's about to pop any moment. And then you decide, hey, how many kids does Connie have? 2, 4, whatever. Hey, I'm about to die. Can y'all take care of my 4 kids? Wait, what? Man, put them kids in the system and go on, man, shoot. Go on, Connie.